I almost forgot something.
Where? And with all the steam coming out later on, that'll be in the green and so forth. We could take some of that water and pour it down over there.
We can probably put one out here dry.
Oh,
Dump it in there, keep that clean.
yeah. We found out what that.
Hello.
Hello.
Ladies, gentlemen.
So I got up here early and went to the Rib Shack.
Oh, you did?
The street was really good. And I saw you guys on TV a month ago, Knoxville race track and stuff, national. I can't believe it happened right there. I mean, how they crammed that many people in town here. It's probably amazing. That's your proof. That would be a proofing application there to proof the bread,
Okay.
and it's under the bread.
But you can set proof, then automatically a couple hours later
Sorry.
do the baking.
Yeah, and you can set a program on that, or you can proof everything and then take it out and then go into baking just right after that. So you guys want to start? Is this everybody or?
I think we're gonna wait a little bit.
Yeah, let's wait.
You want to turn on the other one too, or
Who's going to be operating this?
Bev?
Everybody?
Bev, Allie,
The women are probably most new.
Okay. Because
Mary?
I'm going to be sitting where you're sitting. You guys are going to be up here. So don't get comfortable sitting down there. Because you need to, look, it's proofing. You need to be up here touching the button. So I won't be very far behind. So that's all we know. So somebody come up and I want to have you turn it on because you have to turn and press it to hold. You press the button once, just hold it. This is a universal on-off switch. So press that and hold it until you see the
This
green
one
light.
here?
Until you see the green light come on. There you go. There's green light right there. So, and then to turn it off, you come up here then. To turn this off, if you were going to turn this off, you're going to press and hold that and get a yellow light. And then, so go ahead.
Do I gotta press it?
No, this one up here.
This?
This is your main on-off switch, okay? So you're going to press and hold that till you get a yellow light there. Now take it off, and it's going to ask you, do you really want to shut the unit off? And if you do, then you swipe it. Just go ahead and do that. There it is. Okay, so it's going to shut it down.
Okay.
So it's just a long press and hold, and the same on what that's doing is filling up the steam generator with water. That sound, okay? So there's a steam generator behind here, and there's one behind
Are
here,
you filming it?
and so that it. Okay, so if you are filming this, anything I miss or say by mistake, it's not my fault. And you need to follow the manufacturer's guidance on this. There. So this one's off. That one has just turned on. It's filled up the steam generator, and it's going to be ready to run. Okay?
Well, we turn this one on after that one.
Well, no, we've already turned this on. We turned this off.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So turn this one back on. You're going to press and hold it for the green. There you go. Once you get the green light, then it will come on. There's a back arrow down here that you're going to use sometimes, and this is the only. You guys aren't going to have any problem with this. It's people that use it before. If you press and hold that, you'll see a line go through there. It's kind of hard to see. You see that? Okay. Watch it. the arrow, you'll see a line sweep across there. It's just, you want to get back to another button. It's a long press and hold, okay? So we'll wait till this one gets up, and then we'll start. Everybody understands, because we're growing by the multitudes here, aren't we? So, does everybody know what a combi is, what these ovens are? Okay, so, do you know what a convection oven is?
Yeah.
Okay, these are convection ovens. Do you know what a steamer is?
Yeah.
A commercial steamer. In cafeterias and school places, they have steamers that are this, that all they do is steam. And let's see if I can see steam. And all they do is steam, and they use it for steaming vegetables, steaming, seafood, and school food stores use it a lot, okay? So a combi, this iCombi, Rationale invented this. Rationale is a German company. These are made in Germany. It's the #1 brand in the world, and the #1 brand in the U.S. Rationale developed what the combi is, and they put the convection oven and a steamer together. Okay, so the deal is that you can bake, you can use this as a convection oven and bake anything, or you can steam in here, you can steam your vegetables, or you can use it in a combination. And the combination, if you're baking at 400 degrees with 60% humidity, you don't have to remember this. It's going to do this automatically. And you're doing a roast pork butt or something like that, it's going to brown it. You're going to have less shrinkage. It's going to retain the moisture because it's not going to dry it out. So that's where you're going to see a benefit on the combi a lot of that, okay? And so this is, we're coming up to steam temperature now on this. So a lot of these programs on here are going to be, you're not going to have to remember to set anything. Now, all the programs that are already in here, you don't have to worry about. You need to play around with them because you're not going to be able to erase any of them. You're not going to screw it up, okay? So you can't, by default, hit the wrong button and it goes away. So it's not like a computer in that sense. But I remember you too. He was a troublemaker. So I don't think he was up there. So you'll be able to program stuff, and the stuff that you program, you'll be able to take it away or erase it. But the stuff that's in here already, and there's hundreds and hundreds of programs in here that you won't be able to get rid of. So but those are the ones that you're going to want to use most of the time. So I've got a little bit of steam. It's still not coming up. It's still not up to temperature yet.
So why do you want it to be up to?
Well, right here, it says that our steam temperature is going to be 209 degrees to be steaming. Coming in the front door, star of the show.
Yeah.
It's false.
So you want it to be at 209 or that's?
You don't have to decide that. So on the program here, when we get into steaming here, it will automatically default at 209. Steam temperature, water boils at 212. Okay, that's in normal places. This takes into effect how high or what our altitude is here at Knoxville. It says water is going to boil at 209. So it's going to do that. So if you go into, press that button. That's that's your steam. It's a puff of steam. And that will come up and it will show 209 also. So you don't have to set that. This is going to buzz or it rings right now because it's actually, it's trying to start the process, but you don't have any time on that. You've not put any time on that. So whenever you're trying to start a program, if you would just crack the door open, just open up the door, you open the door, here, you would turn it like that, and then it will just stop, okay? So when you're getting ready to do a program, and you haven't started it yet, if it's buzzing like that or beeping, if it's starting to do that, just open the door and it will stop it, so that, you know, you won't be under the gun. On the manual process is the steam mode here. It's good. You're not going to do anything with the first two. It's 100% steam. It shows that it steams at 209 degrees, and the time is what you need to set. So if I had shut that and it was buzzing like that, I can just go ahead and set this time and it will stop, because then it's going to try to engage and start cooking. So there I've got steam now.
So why do we need to set a timer on it if what we push in, doesn't it automatically come up with the time?
You're going to want to steam something, you know, green beans for 8 minutes or something like that. You know,
It don't automatically just steam it for 8 minutes.
well, you have to tell it. I mean, there's a continuous on there, and it will steam forever, and you really don't want to use that. You want to tell it.
Okay, I thought they were like on time. I thought the foods were all on their own time.
They are. What we jumped into right now
It's
is
just the steamers aren't, or?
we've jumped into manual settings. Okay, so there are you're right on target. So in this, press that and hold that. So this right now is it's still trying to steam. Press and hold that until it goes back to that. So this is our home screen. Hit that. Let's go back to our home screen. Okay, so another way that you can get back to home screen is up at the top here. That's our home screen button also. So we come back to that home screen. And then when you're steaming or doing combi or anytime you're cooking anything, you want to make sure you open the door and crack it, just because you can get burned from the steam or the hot air. A lot of times these things are cooking at 450 degrees or whatever. So, and if they're using any steam, you can still get burned by that. And then we get the little cloud of the stuff. So hopefully, if you can crack that, it's gonna pull up whatever condensation we've got going on there. So on the first screen here, you've got 3 manual settings. Like I said, you've got a convection oven setting, just like a convection oven. So press your convection oven. So that's set up. The first button first switch you're not going to need to hit. What are you going to do? Yeah.
Open the door.
Just open the door. It just gives you, so it's not ringing. The first thing, it just says it's 100% convection, hot air. That's all you want. Okay, so you're not going to change that. The second one is it defaults at 320. In Rationale's world, 320 is 350. Okay, so a lot of people will change that to 350. Okay, so change that to 350. Say that we're going to bake some cookies or something. How would you do that?
Right.
Slide it. Yep, there you go.
But the hole is a circle. Oops.
That's a great example. So 350, you can't get there right away. Get close and then use this dial. And you've got about a second to do that. So press that again while it's highlighted. There you go. And then go down. 350. Okay. So once that is set there for a second or whatever, it's locked out. Okay. So you can press this. And see it's highlighted. Now you can go up and down, or you can slide this. The slide gets close, but once you get close there, you can
Use the knob.
you can get it right on target once you do that. And then if I go over 62, it locked me out again. So just press that and then come on down to 350. Okay? 350. Same with the time. This is the continuous that I talked about. And you guys really shouldn't use this in continuous. Restaurants will use it in continuous. It's akin to driving your car to work and you don't turn it off because eventually you're going to go home. Okay? And it just doesn't make any sense. It's out there, you know, I'm eventually going to go home, so I want my car to be ready. Well, restaurants, that's a lot of times they do that. It's a waste of energy and it taxes the machine. So anyway, it just, so you know, this is where it is because somebody's going to hit it at some time. It's this little red clock over here, and you press that and it says continuous operation. So if somebody said, hey, the oven's on continuous operation, just come back over and take that off. So the timer on this, we're doing cookies, we're saying, is the same way. So hit the clock or pull your circle down.
Pull my circle down?
Yeah. Yeah, for say it's 8 minutes. Okay. So you've got 100% dry heat, 350, 8 minutes. We're going to say that's going to be cookies. Close your door. And the doors, they slam like a car door, okay? Once you close that, we're cooking cookies, okay? Now, on the manual processes, these 3 manual processes, steam, combi, and dry heat, which we're probably not going to be using, only as the last resort. These don't go through a preheat mode. So you're starting with a stone cold oven. We're trying to get up to 350. You'll get up to 350 really fast, but it's stone cold, and we're going to be counting down our 8 minutes there. So it'll count down once the temperature gets in there. But the cookies have sat in there and they've gone through the whole preheat or whatever. So all the rest of the recipes that we're going to go through, they have preheats in there. Okay, you'll understand that as we get further along. So that's in our main convection oven mode. I can go back to the main screen, or I can hit the back arrow and get rid of that and get back to the main screen.
Oh, that shut that recipe down.
It shuts that recipe down. Right. And sometimes, let me see if I can get this to go. If I haven't shut down the recipe and I go back into the home screen and I try to do a turkey or something, and it says to start this application, you have to shut down the one that we were already doing, because I never got out of that cookie thing that we were trying to do. So it pulls that up, and then it hadn't expired, so you need to manually get rid of it. Yeah.
What happens if at the end of 8 minutes the cookies are not done, so they can be just
You can
just close it and just.
Yeah, and start it again. And
Okay. Do we have to set a timer in order for that to function?
you could actually on that one I would just run it again and then just watch it. Okay. I mean, because you could do the same thing and say I want to do 350 for another 2 minutes or something. These manual controls, I'm just showing you, they're kind of at a last resort. We have a cookie button in here, okay? And the cookie button is going to work for you. It's going to work for probably all your cookies and your muffins and everything you got. And but the manual controls are a lot less sophisticated, and they're just, if you can't figure out the other way to do it, it will turn into a convection oven, or it will turn into a steamer. I wouldn't even suggest you using the combi on this one, because the combi mode on this, it says that it tells us now we're gonna cook this with 60% moisture. Okay, is that good? Is that bad? Well, I mean, what's 60% humidity? I mean, it's humid, but I don't know if that's a good thing. So we would set the 320. And again, we do our timer for whatever, and we close the door. And a lot of times when this is beeping, it showed a closed door on there. A lot of times when it beeps, it will tell you, if you look at the screen, it will tell you what it's trying to ask you to do. So,
So can you open it anytime you want?
yes, open it now. I mean, if has anybody worked with steamers? Okay, pressure steamers?
We have steamers on that steam table over there.
Okay, on the steam table?
There's a steam table, yeah, you
Okay.
can
It
make
doesn't
an
cook.
entrance.
That's not, that's not,
a
a commercial steamer is
Okay.
like a door
Okay.
where you cook. That's right.
Yeah.
Whoever said that, that's a holding. That's holding. So, a
But you can
steamer,
use it as a steamer though too, by putting water in there.
yeah, but you're not gonna cook.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
But some people have worked with pressure steamers where you actually lock the door down, it goes under pressure, it's a pressure cooker. These are not like that. This one's running right now, and you can open that anytime. Every time you open that, this all pauses, okay? Whatever you're doing in there pauses. So if you're opening that to check on it, it pauses. And now if you open that and take a chicken out, lock it over there, and leave the door open for a while, it'll reset this you may add another minute or two onto your timer, just to bring it back to the original 30 minutes that it was trying to cook
So
or something.
when you're on manual, you'll have to cook in the oven the same temperature for whatever you're putting in there.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
but you can put like at different times, so we could add to it, but then change the time when the one gets done.
Well, there is another program that will do on that. So the manual, let's just be done with that. Except on manual here, if you are doing a roasting, this was in combi mode. So we're trying to cook at 355 with 60% humidity. So you're not really ever going to see the steam that you got in this. You won't see it cloud up because it will disappear because of the heat in there. Sometimes you'll see it come out because it will be that much humid in there. But once the timer buzzes, then it will stop. But the rest of these, there's some other buttons down here on the bottom that might be beneficial, especially if you're cooking, like a bacon. I've seen bacon done with this. Okay, so there is a process in here for bacon, so I can open the door, or I can just put some time in there right now, and it will stop. So if I was cooking bacon, and I've got it in just an oven situation, okay, and the fan's blowing, it's at a pretty good clip. It's got a fan speed on here, one of the buttons on here, and if I press that, I can lower the fan speed, or I can lower it this way, and you can hear that. And it'll tell you that it's preheating too, the bar that comes across there. So that's the full fan speed. So it makes a difference. School foods or restaurants, they'll cook bacon on sheet pans on parchment paper. And once that bacon starts releasing its grease, the bacon can get airborne if there's too much wind velocity inside. Okay, so that was manual. I don't want to spend a lot of time on manual. We're going to do better on the processes. So, okay, a couple other people out there. You did a wonderful job, ladies. Wonderful. We're going to visit back with you again. Two others. You two, right here.
You're gonna be using it.
Oh,
Yep.
Let the two go up here and then.
Each one get on an oven. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the programs. This is why the rationale, everybody loves the rationale. This is what you bought it for, okay? Tell me what the pictograms are. Yes, there you go, right on. What's the first picture?
Turkey?
Turkey,
Poultry, how about?
okay,
Okay?
red meat,
Okay, any kind of meat, any kind of meat. Did that keep flipping back there?
yeah.
Oh, okay. What's it say? over, see if it sticks. Okay, so any kind of meat product, you're gonna find, open that door. You'll find pork in there. I don't know why that's really bad. I'm gonna shut that off. Why don't you select a, press and hold that, yeah. Select the poultry.
Both of us?
Yeah, both of you. Oh, you just have to press it once. Okay. So, on the poultry, you go down and find roast turkey and you find chicken. Roast turkey. Okay, open your doors so they don't start. It's gonna try to start. Did you find chicken?
Yep.
Okay. And if you don't see the product that you want, you can scroll down. You can use it like an iPhone, or you can use the knob.
Oh.
Okay. Now there's going to be some things, and then once you find that, you can press that thing, or you can press the knob. And you just left it in there. So this goes through. This is the roadmap. Yours is on the roadmap. Yours is going to switch over to the roadmap in just a second. It just says roasted chicken up at the top. 35 minutes is how long it's going to take. Yours is going to take 1 hour and 28 minutes for a roasted turkey. Okay, so yours is on the roadmap, how we're actually going to cook, and that one is the settings. Okay, so yours is just flipped over. That's going through the settings. Now, for you, if you press the upper right corner, it has those 3 dots. Yeah, that. Press it once. Okay, that takes you back to how the setup was. Okay, so it's the roasted chicken. Do yours also. Press the top. That. Yeah. Press that. Okay, no, that was fine. Okay, so you'll notice that both roasted turkey and roasted chicken, they're saying you're going to cook it with the temperature probe. The temperature probe, you guys, is going to be your friend. I mean, some things you're not going to want to cook with the temperature probe, but any meat products you want to cook with the temperature probe. Look in there and see if you see the temperature probe. That's it. Pull it out. Okay, so temperature probe, it's got 6 places where, you guys can pull up a little closer. It's got 6 points where you're going to be able to poke this in and it's going to read, okay? So it starts here. So if you're doing oatmeal or rice or something, you can dunk this whole thing in the probe, and you can put that in the pot or whatever that you're putting in there. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So you don't have to be right on the thing. So it could be, this is your steak, and you could have your steak like that, and like this, and it's going to measure the coldest part of that probe. Okay? Do you follow? So it doesn't have to be that at that point. It can go through. Okay? And it should be, you should probably try to get more of it in there. Now the thing about the probe is that they live right here. You want to make sure that they're always staying in there, because if you put the probe out here and slam the door maybe a couple of times, Father has to buy a new probe from us, like $600. And
I'm not gonna buy it, you gotta buy it. You fix it.
so then it gets expensive. So
So it says 1 hour and 28 minutes for this turkey. Is that a 10 pound or is it a 20 pound?
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
will adjust.
It will adjust. Okay, it's not going to adjust a whole lot. And also, does that mean 1 turkey or 3 turkeys or 4 turkeys? Whatever you can fit in here. I think you could probably fit 4 turkeys in here.
What? We're talking 25-pound turkeys, we weigh them.
Okay.
One at a time.
So I'm seeing 1.
Is that 1? Is that 1? Okay.
How many would you get in there, 2?
You get
25 pounds?
Yeah, if you can get them in there.
You can get 2.
I would put 1 on that rack. I don't know how high that. 25-pound turkey is a giant turkey.
It is, it is.
Okay.
We've done it a lot.
Okay. So.
Maybe you'll want to do 20 pounds and do 2.
Well, I don't know, but it's going to cook that much faster because, and the chicken, it's saying 35 minutes and 11 seconds. You don't have to slack this stuff out. But a turkey needs to be thawed out before, I mean, it can't be rock hard frozen, okay?
It could have a little bit of frost in it though.
Yeah, absolutely, but you need to get that probe in there.
So, if you put two of those big turkeys in there, is it okay to have a rub on the top of that?
Add a what?
Can it touch
top.
the?
Oh, it can touch the top, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna hurt it?
No, it's not gonna hurt it.
All right.
No.
Except we have to clean it.
And
Well, it'll clean itself.
it cleans itself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And poultry especially
My house.
is, the roasted chicken, the turkeys, you're gonna notice how greasy it gets in there, because it'll mush up the glass on here. Speaking of the glass, since this is cold, I'm gonna open this now. It's got 3 panes of glass in here. These, you're really not gonna need to do any maintenance on this. I mean, if they get stuff on the inside, you can Windex them off, but pretty much the only dirt is going to be on this front one because it hits the gasket, okay? So it's what seals the oven on there. But so you don't have to clean it, because once you clean the oven, it's going to take care of this also. The one thing that you do want to check is you want to make sure you don't get any crud that goes down into the gutter. There's a little gutter here, and the only way you can access that is open up the doors, okay? You're not going to have so much a problem with that. Schools have a problem with it because they do chicken nuggets and french fries, and there's little crumbs and stuff, and they get a lot of that kind of stuff. Or you'll get some grease that comes off there. If you see anything in here, there's a drain in the middle. You want to wipe it away from the drain. And then this drains into this drain. And then that goes out the back. There's a hole right here. Again, just don't shove anything down that hole, okay? You just want to keep that free and clear. And then the main drain in there, we'll go over that for cleaning and stuff. So anyway, you've got your setting on roasted turkey. Just to show you what the process is of this, we're going to look through the roadmap of that. So press that button, and that shows you the first thing that it does is preheat. It preheats this compartment for a roasted chicken. This is saying it you haven't put any temperature in for this chicken, have you? Okay. Or you told it how big it was or how many you put in there? No. So it's going to roast this chicken 428 degrees. This is 100% steam. Okay? So it's got 100% steam it's putting in there, and it's cooking it at 428 degrees. That's going to be a cooked white chicken. And it's a steamed chicken, right? So that's the first process.
Have to close the door.
Yeah, close the door. So it's the first, that's our first process. It's going to start cooking. But then the second process, it will buzz. These are when it's going to go through the preheat mode, okay? So you start that process, like I'll start this chicken. It's going to preheat this. This has no steam in here for the roasted turkey. It's going to preheat this at 302 degrees, just raw temperature, just hot temperature. So at the end of that preheat, it's going to also buzz and say, time to load the turkey. And at that point, you open up, slide your turkey in, take your probe out, and probe your turkey. And you're going to probe it in the breast, the same with the chicken.
So if we're doing 2 turkeys, and we only
Just
have to probe one.
Probe
it's gonna
one. If
be
you're doing
fine.
6 chickens, you're only probing one. Everybody's in the same game. I mean, they're all getting the same.
So what happens if we have a turkey with a popper in it?
You can leave that. I would leave it in there. It's not going to pay no attention to that. I mean,
But what if it pops? Then it's done.
Then- Well, it's programmed to do that, but they're not always.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I think I trust the
yeah,
coffee.
yeah.
All right, yeah.
And this one, okay, so this is our preheat bar, and it's going to march along there until it's got that preheated. So the first one is preheating 428 degree temperature. That's the hot temperature. Plus it's got 100%. So this is actually doing combi. I didn't tell it to do combi, but it's doing combi for that chicken.
Will it be brown?
Not at this point, it's not. So that's the first one. The second one is load. Now you're gonna take that out, put your probe in there, and load your turkey. I mean your chicken. Chicken, 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 okay? And this is just happening behind the scenes. You're not, I'm just pulling this up so you can see the roadmap that it's doing, okay? Swipe that again. You swipe.
Swipe what?
The screen, just to see what it's doing. The second one was load. Third one,
Okay.
we've got we cut back the steam temperature a little bit, 90% steam we're only putting in. We dropped our temperature to 392, okay? That's number 4. And if you don't touch this again, it goes back to the beginning. There, on the fourth one, the last process, we're not adding any steam. This, the orangey kind of look there, means it's cooking at 392. Now it's exhausting. It's going to exhaust all the steam. You know how much moisture a chicken puts in or a turkey puts in? It exhausts that moisture out. It vents that out, and this is when it's going to brown. Okay, so it's cooked the chicken, but it's exhausting 50% of the moisture that's within that calf. Okay, and then it's going to brown up, and we'll hit the. See, these are the temperature, but it's not the temperature that we're trying to hit. We're trying to hit 180, and you didn't put in 180, did you? So some of the things you can put in there, the temperature. So we're going to cook these chickens with the temperature probe. Some of the stuff you can change, and you can say without the temperature probe, and then it's going to cook for 45 minutes. Okay. Any poultry, I wouldn't do it. I would cook the poultry with a temperature probe. With meats, you could do that. I mean, you could cook meat for 45 minutes, but you could cook beef to be rare in here. You don't have to worry about that. You just it's trying to start.
Is that it telling us that it's time to load the chicken in, it's preheating?
No, well, it was trying to start another program.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of that process, it's going to buzz and tell you it's all done, and we'll show you where that is. You kind of understand how that's doing that? So all of these programs are going to do that. All of the programs, they're going to select the temperature, they're going to select the combi, the path that they're going to add combi or not do a combi.
But it makes that decision.
It makes that decision.
And what about
With or
meat?
without
Does it come
the
out rare or
What's
well
that?
done? Does meat come out rare or well done?
Let's do it. Let's do meat. Okay, so this one, yeah, you can leave the door open. This one, see, and this is a interesting one because I did this with the schools, and there's no hamburger in there. Okay, because they just don't have hamburger. So you're gonna, how would you cook a hamburger? This is a good illustration here. So, 2 ways we're going to cook a hamburger. If I cooked it in a skillet, or if I cooked it on a barbecue grill, which is going to be moister?
Skillet.
Skillet, right. Okay, so you cook your hamburger in a skillet, and you're going to cook yours on a grill over here. So, hamburger is obviously not in there. So we're going to find skillet, pan fried, and we're going to find grill. Okay, so you've got pan fried, you've got grill. Yours is 9 minutes, yours is 6 minutes. Okay, we're going to do it both without a probe, because we're doing a hamburger. Okay, we don't need to probe a hamburger. Without a probe, this little chef hat on here, and that's the same up top there. Those are the rationale. They said that that's what they think you should desire. That's what you should select. Okay, that's their preferred method. Okay, these 2 things up here, they're in the way, so slide them out of the way. Okay, that's it. Okay, so yours is 8 minutes and 8 minutes. Okay, you've already gone into preheat. Oh, look at that. Yours is grilling 502 degrees dry temperature as a grill. She's doing hers on pan fry 550 degrees, 100% humidity, moisture. So it's a pan fry. It's reacting, it's trying to cook it like you would a hamburger on a pan, on the steel, on the stove. Okay, go to the second screen. Load, go to the third. You're going to be grilling 448 degrees, 478. You've still got 20% humidity. You're evacuating 30% of your humidity. Because it's on a grill, you're trying to get more steaky kind of stuff. You would do a steak the same way. There's not a steak in there also. And then the last one is going to be in. That's what your end looks like, and it's going to be buzzing. So you kind of get that. I mean, that's I mean, a process on how that, on just going into meat. So hit your back, hold your back button. Okay, so that was in meats, and we could do that as a grilling or a pan
What if
fry.
you were grilling pork chops?
I just like that,
her?
like that. And the pork chop, if you did a grilled pork chop on that, I would do it with the probe. Okay, those pork chops aren't frozen. You don't need to do it-
Does it make a difference what size that pork chop is?
Not at all.
Okay.
Especially with the probe. Especially with the probe. What would you cook a pork chop to? 160. Okay. USDA says 140. You could do it 140, and it's going to raise, but I don't know anybody cooks it at 140.
I gotta ask you a question on the probe.
Yeah.
You know, when they say, you probe, most people just put it in.
You should probably go.
Slide it in.
Yeah. If the pork chop's like this, I would go in. You know, you can go in. It's going to collect the coldest temperature, but if you get more of that probe in there, you're going to get a better reading on that. So, do you guys, will you do pork chops here?
We're gonna be doing them in November.
Okay. I would bring a couple in beforehand and try that out and just see how it goes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so our pork chop there, now we won't leave it in there and keep it for more time to get that.
Okay. Okay. We do have that program in here. You don't have any warming cabinets, do you? Okay.
But see, the problem of it is though, we're talking 200, 300 pork chops.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough to keep 300, you wouldn't get 300 pork chops in there.
Well, how are you, if you stacked them all on top of each other, I guess?
Okay,
you
and
could.
pans.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah,
they
yeah.
overcook if you put them in the steam table?
Well, holding in food service is a bad thing anyway.
Yes.
And everybody does it. Everybody has to do it, But we do have holding on here. And the thing about these ovens, though, when you're holding in here, it's a very expensive holding cabinet. I mean, you could buy a cheap holding cabinet that doesn't need to go under the hood. But I'm just saying, if you're in production and you're still needing to make pork chops, you could have one of these holding and still making them in the other one. You
That's
could
an
do
idea.
that. But
And they're fresh.
But as you're holding, you are still going to be
Fresh
cooking.
So,
Would you-
so
would you
for
be able to
holding,
get-
what does it actually do?
Okay, so get out of your program there.
Tim,
Yeah,
cookie sheet or buy the grill things?
either way, if you buy, you don't, you didn't buy, I brought you an accessory book. But if you, actually, if you want that kind of a grill mark on there, these are 12 by 20. They're the size of, they slip right on that rack, and they'll give you the grill marks. And they're beautiful. And you put the pork chops or steaks on these things cold, and just, you can have it in your cooler, and then just pull that out and slide it in there. It puts the grill marks on one side, okay? And that's the presentation side. You flip that over. Nobody looks underneath their pork chop or their steak to see what the other side looks like.
We're
But-
getting now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put that on top of the cookie sheet, or put it in the.
Grease or-
You can put it just right in there. Just slide it right in there.
Because the machine.
Basically,
You
you
don't
put
have
a
to
pan
clean it up,
underneath
it's
it to
okay.
catch the drip.
What?
Basically, you put a pan at the bottom to
You,
catch the drip.
if you've got fatty stuff, steak, I wouldn't do it. I mean, they don't do
What
it on
about pork
steak.
chops
How
though?
about pork chops?
Pork chops, it depends how fatty they are.
Yeah, but they're smoked, in my opinion.
They're smoked.
They're pre-smoked.
These are all gonna be smoked
Oh,
pork
okay.
chops.
Are they done?
Yeah, see, a smoked pork chop's already done. All you're doing is, When you grill them, you just put the grill marks on them, they said they're ready to go.
You don't have to, you're not cooking them.
Can you put grill marks on those? Or, I mean, if
Yeah, we've done it, we've done the pork chop dinner here, and that's what we've done.
I think you
Just
ought
put
to
'em
buy
on.
one of those and see if that works. Because I don't, no, you wouldn't have to probe it, and the time,
Here's another question, and I've asked this question many times. You don't want to waste. You know, when you buy that many pork chops, they're $4.89 a pound, I'll just tell you that right now, where I'm getting. And you're serving 300 people, and let's say that 300 people don't show up. My goal is to use what we're gonna use by doing tickets. But you kinda like to have a few more, just in case people don't have tickets, you got them extra few to cook. Can you put a pork chop in there frozen?
absolutely.
Okay.
But it's gonna take a lot longer.
Okay,
and
okay.
You're not gonna probe it, but these are already cooked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say they're already cooked, yeah, you can put it in there frozen. Now that you're telling me this kind of information, there is another, I wouldn't use in the program that we're talking about in here. We've got also, we haven't hit all of our programs.
Okay.
Poultry, meat, seafood, egg and dessert. This is gonna be steamed pudding, creme
Egg
brulee.
casserole.
Yeah, egg casserole.
That's what we would do most.
Soft boiled eggs, hard boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, that kind of stuff. Vegetables, this is your, on the vegetable one, I forget who was asking, you were asking about that. You were asking about the timing, you know, does it add the time or whatever. They have steamed vegetables in here. This program is vegetables and I don't know what potatoes. Oh, it's potato. This other one looks like a potato, but it's actually a loaf of bread. So, thank God. I mean,
Oh, I see.
Rationale used to
Yeah.
call this a kartoffel or something, and I hit the wrong one. So that's vegetable, and that is a potato right there. That looks like a potato, but it's actually bread. So the vegetable and potato is going to have your French fries and your steamed vegetables in here, okay? So if you went into steamed vegetables, you're not going to really gain very much in doing that over the manual steam setting. It's the same kind of a setting, you know, except you're going to get a preheat on the steamed vegetable setting. But anyway, back to your deal. Let me finish up with these. So, eggs and dessert, vegetables, potatoes, breads. You're going to have your proofing in here and your baking. You're going to have muffins and cookies and stuff like that. Then these are the processes. Pretty much you're not going to mess with that because it's already going to default to those. But there's one in here, it's banqueting, okay? And big hotels use this all the time. And it's this picture right here. It's of a plate of food and it's going onto a rack. So this is where I would do your pork chops, because if you said they're already cooked and you're going to need to bring back up to temperature, it's whether or not that they're going to get grill marks on with that. But what hotels use these for, they'll have big roll-in combis, and or they'll have much larger sizes than this, that they need to feed 500 people in that banquet room, and they need to feed them all in 30 minutes. Well, they can't. The way they do this is that they cook their chicken quarter, their green beans, their mashed potatoes. They cooked these yesterday, okay? And that's all in the walk-in. They brought it out last night, and they get 3 or 4 guys here, and they put on the plate, they put the chicken quarter, mashed potatoes, the green beans, and they take that plate and put it off to the side. They put all 500 of these plates together. They don't sauce anything. And then, when it comes to day of the banquet, they put that in, all that food's already pre-cooked. It's already done, right? Because they cooked it
They're just
yesterday.
warming it.
Yeah, they're warming it. But what Rationale calls it is, it's not retherming, it's, oh, it just escaped me, but it's not bringing it back up to a cooking temperature.
Right.
They call it finishing.
Serving.
They call it
Serving.
finishing,
Finishing.
okay?
Mhm.
And so they finish it, they bring it back up to serving temperature, without drying it out, without steaming and having all the stuff bleed out onto the plate also. So where this would be plated banquets, the school food service, we have them use this one called container service. School food service, you know, all Des Moines public schools, they all use it. And that's the only piece of cooking equipment in their kitchen. That's all they got. And they use container service. Almost everything that Des Moines public schools serves is done. It's cooked. It's frozen, but it's chicken nuggets, it's French fries.
All you're doing is warming it up.
It's warming it up.
Right.
Okay, so this program here is banqueting or warming it up, okay? So I would try that with your pork chops, okay? But I would still do that with a probe. You could do heated banquet. I wouldn't select that one, that doesn't have the probe on there.
Plated.
I think maybe heat through, that has a probe. It defaults at the probe, and it defaults at 165. Again, here, this is where your little chef hats are. This is what Rationale says is the optimum place that you ought to be putting that stuff in there. I know so many people, they'll end up going, well, I think it should be a little bit more brown than what we're doing. And
You're not serving yourself, you're serving other
every time
people.
they do it, it's like it comes out almost burnt. I mean, and it's, I wouldn't mess with it. I would, so when that is flipped back to that, when I'm not ready for it, I just hit that again, and it goes back to
So the light in the dark has to do with rare, medium,
the light in the dark.
well, maybe that isn't on.
This is selected. It's selected gentle heat.
Okay, that was on.
This is dry to moist. That's where it's in the middle. You don't want the pork chop dry, but you don't want it soggy wet also. 165 is what they're shooting for.
Suggestion.
That defaults there. If you want to change that for whatever reason, you just press that, go up or go down, or
It's showing on the
medium,
slide.
or well done. So if you can run an iPhone, it follows kind of the same. No, really, it's not that far.
Flip phone won't work.
Well,
Sounds like we need to
In the
have
new
a food
century.
party and just cook a whole
I
bunch of
think
food.
so, I think so.
And
Okay,
practice.
so get out of that,
We are having a
get out of there, and we're gonna get two others. Next two are gonna come up. I'm just gonna do this just so you guys can feel comfortable pressing these buttons. Yes,
I have
sir.
a question. Say you're doing one pork chop. But we're gonna be doing, can we put racks and racks?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Come on, guys.
it's still all automatic.
Yes, yes. That's why you bought this, okay? Do you have racks? What kind of, are you using these pans here?
These down here, but we don't,
Cookie sheets or those?
We got
We have
these.
some
Oh, do you have half-size cookie
We
sheets?
have
Yes.
some cookie sheets that are
How
good.
these fit in.
Yes,
Okay.
some.
These won't,
Okay.
and these will. They'll fit like that, okay? And these,
There's some really.
yeah,
How about that one?
no, it's, these pans fit on the runners. You notice that's above the runner, okay?
Okay.
So you actually could put
This won't go,
5 pork chop trays for pork chops.
absolutely.
3 ounce, 3 ounce.
I would use these, I would use that. I mean, well, if you're gonna try that grilling thing, you could put that grilling thing on here. But the grilling plate will slide right in here also,
So we
so.
need more half size.
Yeah, you will need more half size.
I ordered
there and
6.
have him write them down.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll try it for a while.
Who's that? So there, those are, that's like the size of that. So these
metal racks.
they are, right, yeah. And then they also make, and we didn't get on these size pans, they don't provide shelves, but you can buy wire shelves in here, But that's for if you had little half-size pans that you were gonna cook it, you wanted to cook it on a shelf. You could just use this as well. Just if you're cooking, heating up a little 6-size saucepan or something, then you could cook it in that.
Something that it can sit on.
Sit up, right, that's all, that's all.
Baked potatoes, I was gonna ask you about that. Could you do like a big pan like this and put a bunch of potatoes in there?
Yeah, the deeper you go, it's gonna affect the cooking on
Well, we
that.
have more shallow ones
Okay,
down there.
but that, a 4-inch, I wouldn't go any deeper than that. Do you have
We
any
have a
6?
2-inch.
Okay, 2 inches are the premium. 2 inch are the
Bottom
premium.
on the right.
So, say you're doing baked potatoes, how are you gonna do baked potatoes? Your door's open, we'll close your door.
Probably do this one right here.
Vegetable, yeah.
I want to see it.
Baked
I wanna
potatoes
see
right
it.
here.
You can't wait for
Okay, you didn't select baked potato.
I did.
No.
I thought.
No, you selected, I'm gonna hit back. That's easy deal. So go back and find your baked potato.
Well, it's in the
You
vegetables,
got,
right?
he's cooking his baked potatoes.
It's in
No, you hit the right button. No, I'm confusing you. You hit the right button at the very beginning, you hit the wrong button the second time. Okay, so we're gonna hit that back. Okay, so potatoes are in vegetables, and that's then a carrot with a potato behind it and lettuce
Right,
back
that's
there,
right.
broccoli. Okay, what you did is hit this thing over there, which is the heated button, the banqueting button. You need to hit baked potato. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to probe that because it told you here you're cooking with a probe. Okay, so you're going to take that, not now, you don't need to do it now, but you can take that probe out, you take that probe out and stick it right through one of the baked potatoes. And you can heat them up in there and then stick it through one that's not on the top, and stick one in the middle, okay? Just take that probe and stick one of the baked potatoes in there, and then put another pan up here, and whatever. You can have.
How many potatoes could you cook? Just
Well,
by guess.
look at your pan.
Probably
And just fill as many pans as you can.
Because usually I cook maybe 150,
yeah, maybe 75 or something like that. Okay, so baked potatoes, it's not a magic machine. You're going to get about the same time out of an oven. So if you see, it's about 60 minutes. It's about an hour or so. And but if you see this,
It's cooking at 356 degrees.
356 degrees, what's the blue mean?
Steam.
That has something to do with the steam.
Right, it's steaming, it's 100% steam at 365. So you're not gonna totally ruin the baked potato. So that's the first process.
Would you put foil? Can you put
No, don't cover anything.
thing with foil?
Don't cover
Just like the
anything.
microwave.
There's only a couple things that you are supposed to cover. You guys aren't gonna do it, like sushi rice or something like this.
See, the deal, here's the deal why I thought about it. You know, we do baked potatoes during fish fries. And the reason we put the foil on when we put them in the oven, they stay warmer. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I've taken some of that foil off. We stopped about, we put these suckers on about 4:30, 5 o'clock. We leave them in there for it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to cook that many potatoes in the stove. Then we bring them out and we put them in the steamer. I've taken them potatoes out. I've taken the potatoes that we have left over, take the foil and believe it or not, they're still warm.
Yeah, you could, and wrap them in foil, that's fine in here, and if it's still, put the probe
That keeps
through
the
there.
potato
Oh,
warm.
so they can be wrapped?
Yeah, they're gonna be wrapped,
Okay.
just don't cover the pan.
Okay, don't cover the
Okay,
pan.
okay.
Don't cover the pan.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I didn't show you, okay, so press and hold that back arrow until you see that line come through.
This arrow right
Yeah,
here?
press it and hold it. Okay, now you're out of it. Okay, so I didn't show you where the hold button was up here. If you wanted to use one of these for hold and the other one for cook. So, and I was getting there. It's in the banqueting also. Do you remember where the banqueting was? And it's gonna look like a plate of
Right
here.
food. That's
Yeah,
it,
right
that's
there.
it. That's it, hit it. Hold. It's gonna hold, you can hold with or without a probe. It's gonna hold without a probe, medium dryness. It's gonna add some combi in there for, and it's gonna hold it, I think that's with probe. 160, it doesn't have a time on there. So it's just a holding box at that point. So you can set it at 160 or 151, but you're going to degrade the food as long as you want to hold it. Did you want to cook those fish?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have to sacrifice one of our ovens. We'll do this one. And
The reason I said that, because we do the fish fries, we start them like at 5 o'clock, and we're still certain it's 6:30.
Is it better? to put
And that's why I said we just gotta keep things warm.
how have you done fish fries?
What we've been doing, because of the smell, keep the smell out of it.
You do not.
We do the frying outside.
Did you have fryers? Or do you have fryers? You have?
Electric fryer.
Or, okay, are you
And
gonna
we bought them from
Okay, are you gonna still fry them like that?
The reason why we do it, you heard a lot of people complaining after the weeks, we're doing this for 6 weeks. And people
We
complain
need to
about
put
You need to spray these?
oil.
I would spray it, yeah.
Okay.
I would spray it. You got that in there weird.
Back there in the.
Watch it, it's hot.
Get him some hand spray back there in the
We
camera.
we got some right here, Jim.
Oh, got it, never mind.
So,
reason I
I'm
said-
gonna default again here. I'm not a cook, so.
Now, do you define like potatoes? Can you stack them up on that pan
Yeah, yeah.
as high as you can go?
Yeah, because it's gonna be different than if that was full of mashed potatoes. If that was heaped up with mashed potatoes, that thing's gonna cook for 3 hours and it's gonna be hard to get that warm. Baked potatoes stacked up, they're all gonna get hit with the temperature.
Space around.
Yeah, they're gonna get hit with the temperature.
But
So,
I never got to finish. The reason why we did that, because of the fish smell. Would that be a problem there for frying?
it's not gonna be a problem. But a fried fish is gonna be different than this. I think at the demo that you guys went to, somebody went to, he did fried chicken strips and stuff he put some oil on there and it came out pretty good. It mimicked it. Again, the schools, they don't have fryers. None of the schools have fryers. A French fry done out of this is pretty good. It's better than what you can get at
On the
home.
top shelf.
It's better than what you can get at home, but it's still not a French fry.
Here too.
There's a difference in the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, people crave oil, fried, whatever, But,
Kids can't complain at school.
yeah.
Well, they do, but they're not supposed to.
Damn it, nobody pays attention.
It's, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Okay, so
We're saving your life.
That's the terminology.
I think we'll do this one for the fish. How would you do the fish? So we've got a fish in there. Okay, so
Paul, can you stand to your right, just so it's more, your long arms?
We didn't demand that of you.
So much shorter.
Probably gonna call it breaded, right?
I think so.
It's gonna be more of a baked situation. If we wanted it fried, to taste like it fried, would you put oil on the
Really?
pan?
Well, or you could spray. Did you spray the bottom of that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And are these already done also?
No.
I don't know.
They're just-
Yeah, I think they're breaded.
They're just in a
breaded.
salted crust.
Okay.
They're ready to fry.
They're ready to fry. We got a pan fry on that fish too.
I put salted crust.
I don't think so. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, pan fry might make it taste more like a fried. You're talking deep fryers, right?
Yes, we deep fry our fish, and then we do a baked fish too, without the crust.
Okay. And they would have.
We do them with the
So,
oven. What we did.
You've started that, and it's gonna go through, and you're gonna have your preheat bar. This is good. You're gonna see the preheat bar, and the fish won't take. And it says that we're doing a pan fry in the fish setting And this preheat bar will come across there. And are you okay with all these settings? Are those frozen?
Yes.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to do this. Hit the top right there, yeah. And I think you're gonna have to do this without a probe.
Well, we won't be able to put a probe in it if it's frozen, right?
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do it. So without a probe, medium coloration, that's what the chef hat says. And it says to do it with a probe, which we can't. But saying without a probe, it's saying it's gonna take 8 minutes, okay? And if you wanted to change that to more, you could go up, or you could go slightly
But
down.
could you wait a few minutes and then stick the probe in there after they thaw a little bit?
You could do that, but then you're gonna have to reset this
Okay.
and change that setting to
Okay.
cooking with the
Yeah,
probe.
okay.
So the probe setting, if we were doing it with the probe, you see that without the probe, we've got 8 minutes. With the probe, it gets rid of the time and just goes to 145. So if these don't slack well, neither do French fries. I mean, they don't, you need to cook them frozen. I mean, there's steaks or meat or pork chops, that kind of stuff works out
Or
fine.
you want it crisp?
Yeah, I mean, but a pork chop frozen is fine to thaw it out and then stick a probe in it, but that is not. I mean, because that's going to be mush. It won't work out. So do that without the probe, and you're
Oh, you're saying
gambling
you'll
with that.
ruin one, putting a probe in it, you'll just ruin it because you're sticking the probe in to,
Well, yeah, because if we wait
just
for
fall
these to
apart.
thaw out, they're,
It'll just fall apart.
they will
See,
fall.
there's the
Yeah.
problem that we run
Because of that
into a lot of
consistency
times.
of
So
the
we'll wait
fish
till
when it
that
thaws
gets up to temperature there.
Gotcha.
So, okay, so since we're on fish, we selected the pan fry, which is here. Now, when you have octopus night, it's already in there. So,
You guys like octopus?
so we've got breaded. Breaded is going to be fish sticks and stuff like
which is
that.
what those are basically.
Yeah, but I think we'll try pan fried. I would try that as pan fried. I would try it as breaded and see which
See
one.
which one you like, yeah, maybe we should.
No, it's gonna tell you what.
Oh, I think this is.
This is still marching along. It will definitely notify you when it's ready there. So,
Father Dennis, can we take some off that pan, put it on another pan and do one?
well, but then I won't be able to.
Well, we got two
We'll
pans.
be
Oh,
stuck.
okay.
Yeah, we got 2 cans.
So on this, we can see what else they've got. That's all they've got in there. So poached, pan fried, octopus grilling. I mean, grilling would be for your
Pork chop.
but this is in fish.
Yeah, fish.
Or you could do, grilling.
We grill fish,
Also-
salmon,
You
or
went to that, didn't you?
or
Said
if
that
you're doing a fresh fish that's pan fried or something like that. So we're going to try the pan fried over there. So on hitting that back button, I can hit that, or if I have not selected anything, the ones that run across the top are the same as we're doing, okay? So I can go back to the home screen by hitting that, and that will bring us back to the home screen. So if you get what I'm saying, most of us, we want to play in this area, and not so much in the manual area. I just showed you the manual at first, just so you will be comfortable. That's how a steamer works, that's how a convection oven works, and a combi works. But down here is where we're going to play most of it. In the bread products, well, let me finish up with, back through here. This is the egg and desserts. So are you ever doing any eggs or any desserts?
Egg casseroles, once in a while,
Okay.
like graduation and stuff.
Okay, that, you would do that, you could do that in scrambled eggs, you could do that as an eggplant probably. What it is, they didn't program every particular thing. A hamburger is kind of ridiculous that they've never programmed that in there. But we'll program that before we leave. I'll show you programming. It's really not that difficult
Is that your manual setting, then save it?
or we set it in what we just did for hamburger.
Okay.
And then save that. So anyway, we haven't selected anything, so I'm going to go back to home screen. That's eggs and desserts. So that would be if you're doing scrambled eggs. If you're doing hard cooked eggs, if you're doing soft-boiled eggs, it'll do all that. And vegetables and potatoes, we kind of went through that. That's baked potatoes, casserole quiches. I think you could probably do the eggs in that. Most of the stuff, they're going to have redundant things. especially if you've got a pork cutlet, or what do they do up in Iowa, that pork, that,
Iowa chop.
that big thing?
Tenderloin?
Tenderloin. So, so if you're doing a pork tenderloin, or a breaded beef patty, or a fish stick, they're all going to cook about the same. I mean, it's the same kind of deal. Each of these, a turkey cutlet, you know, a chicken breaded cutlet or whatever, it's going to have a breaded chicken in there. It's going to have a meat breaded. It's going to have a fish breaded. So they're all going to be about the same.
That's all the pan fried.
There you go, you're cooking. And so, it's got 444 at temperature and 60% steam. And see, a lot of these temperatures you're going to see on these things, sometimes they're cooking at 518. Well, who cooks at 518? Or you know, no, I mean, you're going to burn stuff. The way that the rationales work, they're moving the fan this way and then they go back that way. And so they've engineered these so that you can cook at the real high temperatures and then add the steam vapor in there. And it turned out beautifully. This is where also the potatoes, vegetables, that's also where you'll find your rice. French fries are in here, dehydrated. You can dehydrate if you want to, if you're doing jerky or whatever. It's like an 18-hour process at 80 degrees or whatever.
What about spaghetti?
Lentils, legumes. So you know, spaghetti, yeah.
We do that.
Now spaghetti, do you have any?
We have,
What do you have?
do you have spaghetti in?
We're gonna have a conventional stove.
Okay, that's, you know, there are some things that you're not going to gain the process on this. Spaghetti, it will cook beautifully in here. You've got to cook it in, you know, a 4-inch deep pan. You got to put your spaghetti in there with the water. It's got to absorb the water. There is an interesting one that you might try. It's called pasta and sauce, and you basically put your pasta in here, put the amount of water that required, and then add your tomato sauce.
They serve about 300 people.
This would be a way to try that. And then it comes out. It looks a little soupy at the end. Then you stir it, and it all seizes up, and it comes out together.
Because you kept the starch.
That's right.
The
There's a
fish
thing
they're
here
cooking-
called pasta and sauce.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what that is. And you take your spaghetti, and you know, I'll send somebody. I need to get somebody's email. I'll send you up a whole bunch of videos on. They have one on pasta and sauce. Okay, these are, and my videos that I've got. They're on the old style of combi. The controls look a little bit different than this, but it's still going to be accurate. Let me show you this. Also, you guys, I've got an app. Let's see. I've got a Rationale app on. It's available on. Oops.
Through the App Store.
Okay, so if you go to the App Store and put in Rationale Training USA, it will pop up, and then it gives you like this. And what this does, if I go in and select my poultry, and then I select my grilling like we've done, I only got one bar here, so maybe it will come up. But it pulls up a chef video of that process.
Tim.
Of him doing that.
Tim, you want?
Yeah, is yours work? Okay.
I
I think it's that. Yeah. I got it. Well, I don't have it.
Well, that one video that you had, Chris, did it show cooking it in a pan?
Yep.
Sure.
So
In a round
here it
pan.
is, it's in a poultry, in a pan fry. There it is. Oh, it's this. I finally came up. So he gives you a good, it's a good app to put down, to have in there, and it's a good reference for you. Also, I'll make sure that you guys get Rationale's Chef 800 number, and the chefs are waiting by. They're in Chicago. These are made in Germany, but our main distribution point's in Chicago. So they welcome you guys to call up there and say, hey, we're doing a spaghetti feed for, 500. We've got these combis, and they'll say, hey, what's your location? St. Anthony's and
Knoxville, Iowa.
Knoxville, Iowa.
513.
Sorry. And they'll pull it up. They'll know what you have, and they'll tell you how to do it. They'll give you the best advice for them. Okay, on what they believe.
Can you give us some insights about dressing for turkey that we make in Oklahoma?
I cannot, but my chefs can. So I'm the nuts and bolts. I'm not the chef. I'm not the chef. So I think that the dressing, what do you mean, whether it's in or out of the turkey?
I know, I mean how to cook it. Is there a setting on there?
Oh, it will be. I think we'll have it probably on here. It's probably going to be sides.
Would it be under bread?
Bread. That's probably where it's going to be.
It said casseroles on there though too, on vegetables.
Yeah.
Baguette, bread, cheesecake New York, cookies, biscuits. You're going to do muffins there also, or some of the stuff is not called that, but or a croissant, Danish, meringue. Oh, there's muffins. Pizza is on here again. Pretzel, proof, puff pastry, rolls, soft rolls. I didn't see it there.
What about vegetables? Because I found there were casseroles in there also.
Yeah, there was casserole.
And that is breads. Okay, so baked potatoes, dumplings, quiche, and casseroles. Behind French fries, grilling, high acid products, beans, lentils, legumes, pasta and sauce, pasta, potato gratin, roast, steamed. They just got steamed rice. That's where you would do steamed rice and stew.
Is there a subcategory of casserole?
That's who you
No.
need to talk
Oh, okay.
And like what you do, we don't need subcategories because we're going to get close to that, and then you're going to make your changes, and then we're going to save. And we're going to make your own St. Anthony's, St. Anthony's dressing or whatever it is. So let me just look at egg and. No, it doesn't have berries.
What if it'd be like with your pastries?
Well, it's a dressing, though, right? I would do it as a.
Casserole.
We don't need like a casserole.
It's gonna be, I mean, use those big 2-inch pans.
Yeah, right. So, when you do, I mean, dressing are you doing like a bag of dressing? I mean, like
You go from scratch. Yeah, it's the bread and the onion and
Yeah.
the broth.
yeah,
and,
I don't think it's, I mean, I think something that has a little bit of steam in there.
Right,
and-
because we want it to be
and-
soft on the inside, crusty on the
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, and so I don't think that will be hard
Does it
to,
look like fish?
to manufacture or anything. So, do you guys have a temperature probe? I did not bring one.
Just a separate one. I don't know if we have one here or not.
Do we have any in the cupboard there?
Look over on the other side, Ellie. East side. Top row. Yeah, I'm
Sit
getting
in the
it.
gadget drawer.
Is there one? Do you have us? I'm gonna turn one of these over.
So if they
Yeah,
had
that's really
sprayed
not a good product.
the oven spray on top of that, would it have more of a fried
Taste it,
consistency
Paul,
to
see
it?
if it's any good.
Well, I think we need to taste it.
Well, that's all right, we got here.
Yeah.
Look at that, I don't need to do fish.
Say good.
We're gonna work on your flipping skills, buddy. Cook
We'll
more
bring out
pancakes.
the yard.
When you get there with your
Tartar sauce on
cookie
it.
monster hands. There you go.
There you go.
So those little smaller ones, they kind of,
We kinda
they got more cooked.
Come on over there.
Yeah.
Well, they sound crunchy.
Yeah, they do. It's really crispy.
Pass for Lent.
I think that's what you wanted to know.
My name's O'Mara, so I'm with the club.
Yeah, right. I think you brought it on, so we should, yeah.
You need some tartar sauce.
Get a napkin.
Here's some back here.
There's paper
This one
towels.
here could probably use
Right around the corner, everything you need is in that little room.
try one.
Father putting the sprays on. Are these a little spicy? What do you look for?
That ain't what we serve. That ain't.
I'm tasting
Say
it.
they're somewhere along
I
here.
don't know where we got them.
They're hot.
Anybody else want
I can
these?
smell them.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Do you season it before you put it in? Would you season it?
Well, that don't need to.
I think it has some spice.
Well, I know.
The breading,
Where'd
the breading
the
might
fish
have
come
some.
from?
I can see that.
Father brought them over, so you'll have to ask him. The breading has some, so
I
that's.
agree. Little tartar sauce in there.
Johnny,
What
do
does
you
it
want
taste like? Pretty good?
spice, or do you want?
No, you let me know.
I think it's good.
This one you
I
can
give
get.
it
I should've brought some cinnamon rolls over.
They're in the freezer right behind you.
I think somebody should get a temperature probe. They're cheap, you know, I mean.
Yeah, we-
Oh, yeah.
You should have,
Yeah.
yeah, just an instant read, an instant read
I
thermometer.
think I got one at home.
Maybe a half one.
Half one?
Tastes like fish, okay.
I think it's good.
You need one too, don't
We
you?
do this.
Father's advertising some fish fries over here.
There is a spice.
Thank you.
Looks good with the probe. They're probably hot enough.
Yeah.
You wanna keep
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Frozen?
Yeah, that's one here, it doesn't.
I think it probably is. I think we're gonna put it in there and probe
Okay,
it.
okay.
And
Think
I
it is.
think that they're not gonna, they're gonna probe out.
Yeah, the breading is a little white. Anybody else
Is
need
it warm all
fish?
the way
Okay,
through?
so that's what it looks like.
Is it hot all the way through?
That's
Okay.
what it looks like when it
And it's
is.
crispy.
And I didn't hear it beep, but
It'll be
it
healthier
must
than
have
all that
beeped.
oil, and it's
there.
a lot of money not having to buy all that oil.
Yeah, I thought so too.
For the fryers.
I just got it, yeah, just that little.
That's another problem we have,
I watched it.
is getting the fish.
So you got 2 napkins.
They had trouble here, not here, because we did Hy-Vee last year.
Oh, those are spicy.
Some people are doing fish fries. They had-
Who said it's spicy?
I can taste it.
I could taste it too.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it though.
Yeah, I do,
Jim,
but
the
yeah.
fish
Yours
that you
isn't
get,
totally
is
done.
it?
The breading tastes, the breading seems a little bit doughy on
Or
the
is
inside.
it gonna be the same?
Same.
Yeah, it's pretty
Get
crisp.
meat at another time.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
crisp,
crisp.
but I like another
The baked
minute.
fish don't have
Could be.
dressing.
I mean, you could add another minute to it.
Right.
And you, if the coloration,
So the breading ain't done.
a couple of the small ones got a little brown.
Right,
Little
right.
too-
am
little too
agreed.
brown.
Hey,
Which
Paul,
makes sense.
how long
This
does
is
that
one of the
take to
bigger
cook?
ones.
8 minutes.
That's not bad.
8 minutes, but it's not all done either, you're on some of these.
But,
Let's put it back in that.
so,
Does yours taste like the breading's a little?
Yours aren't?
Yeah.
This isn't official.
Yeah. So let's put this
Yeah,
back.
it takes about an hour to pound and a half.
Yeah, I saw some little
It's a
stuff.
stove. And they're all out.
Sure, done.
Well, I
think
had
it'd be
it
the
right
ones that
off
you
the
would eat
this.
Yeah.
No, that don't look like it's done
We
either.
have probes. We, tell you what they always said, when you deep that
Let's
chicken,
just put it
if they
So
come
they
to the
need
top.
like another minute and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sink,
Breading
and
just
then
takes
when
over
they're
half
cooked,
that.
Yeah, the breading isn't quite that.
still,
yeah, I
they're
think
not
that,
frozen.
Good word.
but, you know what, this is a good process because you already know that we had set this up just like this for 8 minutes. And so you ought to just change that time to be 9 minutes or 10 minutes.
Let's go 10.
Yeah.
Another 2 minutes.
But-
That's better.
but
I'll be able to stay
we'll
longer
just
now.
put 2 minutes in there, but.
The reason why is because they were
For
frozen.
moving forward, if you're doing
Well,
that
but you-
on this setting, so you need to move that over to 10 minutes.
Okay.
See, you could do
Not
that.
that nice?
Don't know.
Do a 5 minute.
No, relocation.
And then you could.
Well,
next one, you could
the
wait
nights are the
until
ones
it's
that
gonna
get
do
the
it.
fish.
Usually,
And then
That takes hundreds of
It's
After you laminate it,
usually,
and you remember he's talking about, we can call out,
do,
No, we could.
tell him the location and stuff. and
no,
put it up there if we have it.
we do about
I'm sure we're gonna need
60.
it.
Okay, are you writing all this down?
So, how about shrimp?
In that box there,
Shrimp is in here, that's
there's
under,
a small,
We do
like,
shrimp.
Or you got that in your
We
head?
cook that
Yeah, 2
outside.
you
minutes.
know, card
You
index.
can get
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are gonna be the ones
They
making
have
the
quick
food.
recipes and stuff.
Oh,
yeah, shrimp is not
There
in
you
here.
go.
To fit this, to break this, oh, nice.
It came with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna
Shows
be
up
different if you're,
Yeah.
I mean, breaded versus the, what they call baked.
I was
It
gonna
doesn't
put
have
a
such
3-hole
bread
punch
it.
on
Or
them
you
and
roll.
get one of the small notebooks for it.
Yeah, that would be nice to do that.
Yeah, if you had a probe in there,
We
you
can hang on to stuff.
Well, now we
like
can
that.
put our probe in there.
Yeah, but
How would you probe
it's gonna give it'll give a false reading, it probably won't cook, it'll probably say we're done.
Oh, okay.
So I'd say we'll just cook it for 2 more minutes. So let's program this one. Who's up for programming?
Who's, Abby's always probing over there, when she was secretary, she's always.
Have her set up,
I had a probe when I cooked at the meeting.
have her set up proofing and baking.
Okay, we're gonna program what he's doing. We're gonna make up the program. So, and don't worry if you don't get this, there are videos on how to do this also. Okay, so we're gonna program, this is,
This one over
no, that's this one here. But we're gonna do what we just did and do it for 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Say it
So-
so that they know.
So, we have the door open, so we did fish. So select fish. And then we did pan fried. Don't hit those little dots off to the side.
Okay.
That's okay. You're just not gonna go anywhere, and you wanna hit the main program. So pan fried, that is, okay, so we can't do that with the Pro because they were frozen.
All right.
take it
So
off
now-
probe,
Well,
take it off probe.
Oh, okay, there you go.
There you go.
and there's your 8 minutes. Now you wanna change that time.
So I
Hit the clock over to the left, to the middle one, the middle. Go up.
Oh, okay. Here?
Yeah. Or, you know what, I think this is 10, isn't it?
It's not changing the time.
It's not changing. Oh, that's, that's.
Can you do this
I'm
slide?
sorry, you were right, I was wrong. It's that one is the time. But this is probably 10. Let's hit
Just added one
hit that
minute,
button,
one
that
more
next
time.
button over. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so,
That was smart.
at that point, we got pan fry. We got it says 10 minutes. We've got without probe. I think this goes back to that coloration. We didn't change that before.
Medium.
Okay, so at that point, there is a pad of paper with a green check mark down there.
Down at the bottom, yeah, okay. Save. Oh.
Okay, so at this point, let's erase what we've got in there. So hit your, not the back button, it's that X, because we want to call, or we want to call it pan fried fish or
St. Anthony.
St. Anthony's fish.
We don't want to lose
Okay,
it.
St. Anthony. So you can put all this stuff in there and it could all be St. Anthony's pork chop, St. Anthony's fish, St. Anthony's, and so you can find out. There you go, you're ready to go.
Where's the space bar?
Just like your,
Down the bottom, where it says egg.
that one.
Yeah.
And you could, it works just like a typewriter, you know, up key for capitals or whatever,
And when I put in pan fried fish?
or, yeah.
What did we say? Good job, Paul.
St. Anthony fish, just put,
Hit
you want,
that
you want breaded fish?
Pan fried, just call it pan fried like what the other things.
How about bait, Paul?
Well, because you're gonna do
Want
all,
baked in there too.
but you don't know what your baked fish is
We don't know what
gonna
the
have.
bake will do.
This-
Bake might
this
get
is
hard
a
on bake.
Bait don't have any baked don't have any
Okay, if
crust.
you like
Right,
that,
so you don't want to.
So what y'all want?
yeah, and now if you like that, you want to go up and hit your green check
Sure, I
mark
like
up
that.
there. And then it will say element, save successfully, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, where you find that is in the notepad. Okay, so it's not living down here anymore. These are up in the notepad
Oh,
there.
personalized recipes, okay.
And then we'll go down and see if we can find that. It's all alphabetical here.
So it should be with S.
It might be at the very end.
Should use.
There it is. Okay, so right there, it's, you're gonna find it there, but now hit those three little dots. Now hit the three little dots. And now hit your star. That's, you're gonna make that a favorite.
Favorite.
So all of these, then you wanna make as, whatever you're gonna put in there, we're gonna call them as favorites. And then hit your favorite button,
That star right in the middle.
right?
Oh, just do here.
Yep,
There it is.
there it is. And then you're cooking fish.
I mean, we're gonna call you in to help do fish.
These are programmers.
You just got
That was
job.
fine. We'll do, come up and do
We'll
hamburger.
call you and say, after you price and fish for it.
Now, if we had a pro, yeah, we could stick it in there. Those will be.
Should have brought one now.
No.
That looks a little dark.
Yes.
Now,
But
You
this
said
is
that
a
I-
problem, this was a problem, I don't think they'll get like that dark if we're going 10 minutes originally.
Right.
Now, at this point, say that we just ended those, and we decided, hey, those needed a little bit more time on there. There is a clock on here, and you can add more time at this point,
Kind of like
okay?
a microwave.
Yeah, but at that point, at the end of the cooking, you can add that.
I do know that most people, when you do overcook them, some people come back and said they were cooked a little too long. Because I think they get too crispy.
Yeah. Actually,
But some
they-
like it
they-
like that. That ain't too bad.
Well, I would,
Yeah. Okay, so,
Depends on how.
yeah, got two meats.
okay, good.
Crispy is.
Okay, we're gonna program a hamburger. We're gonna program either a grilled or a pan fried. What do you like? Do you ever do hamburgers here? Okay, you never do.
No, we cook,
should-
when
should
we
have-
do soup dinners and stuff, we cook hamburgers.
For what?
The soup dinner that we did one time.
One time.
We did-
I'd rather put something in that
Tom, DRE, not DRE, he was the head of the, she helped the Faith Formation Group do beef burgers. They do beef burgers on Sundays, you know, for the parents and that. They
Oh,
have
okay,
it together.
okay.
Uh,
Those are
you get beef
pre-cooked,
burgers.
pre-made beef burger packs, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Small piece.
we'll I just want you to try
Is it
one,
still?
just to
Yeah,
go through.
perfect.
So, yeah, go ahead,
Thank you.
pan fried.
Anybody else want some?
And just, we were doing that without a pro, I
Are you
think,
done with that,
This is my
and
lunch.
that was good.
I skipped lunch.
Just swipe that.
Had me a scooter.
All of
Okay, just
It's
relax.
too hot.
Yeah, that's what I was, it's just like a phone. So hit your save, we're gonna save this as a recipe.
Yeah, I'd say that.
It's a,
good.
yes.
I didn't know if somebody, you know, would say something like that.
No, I don't think so.
Hit that again.
I learned it.
It's that ready. So you can do, St. Anthony's, if you're gonna get rid of that.
Now, see, I'll be here.
You just got that.
See, hey, that one looks like what's coming out of our deep fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep fryer, I think just crispy.
Okay, while she's doing that, say that we were cooking these fish and you need it, for whatever reason, you need to steam some product or something. You put this in here, and we're gonna try to steam now. And, but this cabinet is it's gonna end up telling us it's too hot. So I'm trying to steam, 100% steam, 209 degrees for almost 7 minutes. And I've got my wing and vegetables ready. And
Well, that's how you do spaghetti,
what's that?
steam.
Well, and they've got a pasta and sauce on there too that we could try.
That would be the way you do your spaghetti.
We got some spaghetti back there if you wanna cook some, Ross, but you could.
I don't think we'll do that today. I got.
Just how
Don't we
you do
have a
it.
chef
Place
come
you
here
can
on
do
your
it.
time?
No, I don't really.
I think they're,
See, this is gonna take too long for that
Next
to
month?
cool
I
down.
don't know.
So I've got a cool down button on here, and I'm trying to bring the temperature down from 500 to 400 degrees. We don't have to mess with that because so if this is buzzing and we're looking at that, what's it tell us to do? Close the door.
It does sound like a smoke company. Please don't hear it.
Now what's it say?
Oh, I gotta look at me. Open the door.
Now, this is the only time that the oven will operate with the door open. Because it's trying to blow all the hot air out. You'll like this in the winter. And so it's trying to bring it from 500, look how fast it's dropping that temperature.
Yeah, it's wrong.
365, so we're going down to 140 because we want to try to steam, but we're too hot to steam. So it's going to blow all that. That's the only time that it's going to operate while the door is open. And it will still do that when the door is closed. It will just evacuate. It will take it longer to do that. Actually, it's raising the temperature.
So what came in here?
Okay, I came in and did, we were just doing fish, I went to steam, I wanted to do a different program, and then I put in my temperature, and it's gonna start cooking, but I looked at that on a manual, I can tell it's 372
Then you
degrees.
got, then you
Okay,
got
so
really.
I put the cool temperature
This
down,
right
yes,
here.
right there. And then it will say open door, and then it will say close door. Oh, it says open door, I'm sorry. And then you open it all the way. And that's when you blow all that out. Now,
November 14th.
You're gonna have it November 15th.
That's the date she had
There's
November
also
14th
a,
and November 21st, so I reserved November 14th.
did you get your thing done?
And I told her I would let her know as soon as we decided. I got this far, I didn't want you to.
Yeah, you're good, you're good,
Okay.
you're good. And that's the save up there. Yep. And then it will tell you, element St. Anthony hamburger patty, say successful. Okay, so go find that now.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to push the star.
Nope, you don't push it yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're trying to cook her fried fish.
Okay, so I want to go back, I got out of that.
Okay,
So-
where did we save that? We saved this all to a notepad.
That's right. That's right. I knew the notepad was involved in there somewhere.
So actually, on that, you need to scroll, you can scroll up and get there faster since it's St. Anthony's. It might be at the back.
It won't be in the meat,
No, it's gonna be by,
what we.
hold it.
Give it a second.
Okay, go down, so if you press that right now, you're gonna cook your hamburger. You're cooking, okay? So we go down to here, press your 3 dots. Let's press it up there. Press it up. And then, now, at that point also, so that's gonna be in your star thing, but you could press that also, and we could throw it away.
Trash it.
Yeah, or whatever, you know,
Okay.
but you could find that in your main star, hit your star. So that's where we ought to build our recipe.
And then if we don't
Yeah.
use that recipe, then you just delete it.
Right.
Okay.
But as you start building them, so you don't have to scroll through the main menu all the time.
Yeah, I
If
would
you
say-
star them, that's where they're gonna live, in the starred area.
Easy to get to, yep.
Who hasn't played on this yet? You?
Johnny.
Are you gonna cook?
Probably not.
Okay. You?
back there.
Okay,
Mary, did you already do some?
okay, okay.
Oh, God.
You come back up. I know. But
You're, Connie, you know what you did, you just talked yourself.
Yes.
I didn't say a word.
You're not gonna be a bottle washer, you're gonna be a cook now.
Okay, so there are a few things on here for administrative stuff. Okay, if you notice, we're gonna mess with the sound, the volume, and the tone. Okay, so it works like a phone. I mean, there's your cogs or whatever there, your
Icons.
it's the gears or whatever. Press your gear here.
Years.
Okay, so we got favorites, we got display, we got light, sound. Both.
What I did? She pushed it. Yeah.
Unlock. I don't know what that is.
You did that. Sat down.
I don't know.
There you go.
Okay, so sound. Press your sound. Okay, first of all, press your master volume. Okay, and then hit your dial up. So you're going down, you're going up. Some kitchens need them really loud. You guys aren't not going to need them really loud. So about 75. That's really loud. Yeah, you can just draw that down. Okay. So the main thing we want to do is program in switch. I mean step. You want it to notify you when the thing's done. And this one, you don't want it to sound like that. Just because everybody will get to, oh, hey, that one's beeping. Okay. So both of you hit program in.
Program in. Strap in.
Yeah. Now yours is set on sound 7, sound 7. Press that and start find another sound. Go down to 24 or 23.
Find something fun.
The girls always love that.
I do.
We got foghorn, we got.
We have a ship here for our fish.
That's a good idea.
Oh, corn.
You're both playing the same. So there's a horn honk up there.
Get stereo.
I don't know what sounds like something's back in.
I don't think they have the Backstreet Boys or anything on there.
There you go.
That sounds like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. That's a popular one too, the honking of the horn.
I think that's the way the one up there was.
We should do that and then see how many people run to the door.
But you want to have them so they don't sound like a cell phone.
That's a drive-up
You
carry-out.
just
Oh,
leave.
I like that one. That's a good one.
You just
Yeah, driving
you just leave.
Drive-up carry-out still. I hear somebody honking out there.
Yeah, save it somehow.
No, it's.
Who's the idiot that keeps watching?
It's gonna be done.
Don't know inside.
They're gonna, it should be different.
We're not coming out.
Okay, so sound
Paul's is
five.
the,
And then let's go back again
Paul's
because
is honking his horn.
when they have
buzzing like a
the,
dryer.
it also
I'd
makes
say
a
something
sound
like
when it's preheating and it's telling you to load. Okay, so go back to this and that
You're gonna be
one,
so
and we
trained.
want to hear the loading sound. Loading action. And that was sound 7 also. You just want to have that different than what you selected. You already selected it.
That's the one I had. I must like that one.
That sounds like a phone now.
Phone going off, you don't want that.
Here's what I get some.
Listen to calling in an order.
And I think that might be closer to hers. Hers are the buzzes.
That's
pretty low. That's a good one. So we'll just leave that at that.
Ta-da, it's
And
done.
I think- Yeah, hit pressure. Okay, so that's pretty much on the sound. I think our date and our time, 9:27, that's right, and that's 2:35, is it? Yeah. So
Yep.
that was a change also. data
You
management,
gotta
you
get
can use
clocks.
that for,
We
if
still
you're
have
doing
clocks around, like at the
USBs,
home.
if you wanted to
The
get
area is
passive
good clocks
controls
in
or
there,
whatever,
and
nobody really does that.
I don't remember them.
It's collecting data for, yeah, we cooked that fish, that guy can't sue us, it was the
Like
right
that.
temperature at the right time, and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, or whatever. So that's what the cogs are. Now, there's that question mark thing on here. If you get into programming, if you, gosh, Tim told me how to
Because when I
program,
said
I don't
we-
remember how
when
to
I
do
said
that.
we clocks,
If
I'm
you can
dating
remember
myself, 'cause everybody
hitting
just
the
uses it.
notepad, press the notepad, and then you can't remember anything beyond that, hit the question mark. Okay, I don't think we
Hit the
got
notepad,
into
hit
the
the question
notepad for whatever reason.
Because we haven't plugged anything in yet.
There. Okay, so if I hit the question mark when I'm in the notepad, it will, this one didn't do it either.
First one too.
Notepad.
Oh, we weren't in notepad.
But question mark and the notepad. You said
Yeah, he didn't-
No,
he
I-
didn't say notepad, but
Programming mode, that's what I was looking for. So it goes, it brings you to the programming mode. All this is the question mark on here, it brings you to this, is the manual, okay? So you don't have to open the manual, you don't have to, it's a manual for wherever you are in the process of cooking or anything like that. So you could be in roasted chicken or roasted poultry, and it's like grilling. Gosh, I've got a question about that, and then you could hit the question mark, and it will bring you to the part of the manual on grilling. So it'll give you some hit tips on that or whatever. So whenever you're using the ovens, you're going to want to clean them every night. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Any more questions that we can? I know we're hitting you with a lot of stuff, and so let me tell you this: you're just going to have to start playing with it. Okay, you've got a little bit of knowledge on how to program stuff. I think you're going to have to try the fish, try the chicken, and see how these things come out. If you can use these main programs, you're going to be better off, because as you said, hey, is that chicken browning? I'm like, no, it's still steaming, but it's the last process where it evacuates the moisture. Well, you're not doing that at home, or restaurants can't do that. This does it automatically. Okay, it bumps up the temperature, cuts out the steam, and opens up the vent, and that's when it's going to brown. So you're going to get that magic in those center buttons there.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea if you was doing a meal, pre-trial.
I would definitely do that.
Do a
This is-
pre-trial, and then you got knowledge that you're cooking for a bunch of people.
Yeah. You had ovens here before, right?
Right.
Convection ovens?
No, just conventional.
Okay, okay.
We had pilot lights.
Okay,
too.
these are gonna cook way faster. I mean,
Now, that was
and more evenly, right. And that's why the fans in here, they go at 75 miles an hour this way and then backwards that way, because it's got so many sensors in every corner of this that it's trying to keep that temperature all, even throughout. So, let's see, okay, the hose, this is not a cool down hose, but it's a stream hose where you dial it this way. It's potable water, so you can add this to your vegetables, or if you're adding water to anything, or if you got a stain down here and you want to put it, draw some water on there. But his oven's really hot right now. We want to go through the cool down. We don't want to spray it down to get it to it. Okay.
Tim,
Yeah.
can you set up multiple shelves to cook like baked potatoes and that at the same time?
And the chef will come through. That gets into a little bit more detailed stuff. Let me just show you how that is. That's a great question. We can do multiple stuff. You don't have to do just all baked potatoes or all these. You can do hamburger, French fries, baked potatoes, fried fish. You can do them all in one cabinet. The deal is, it's all going to be the same environment. Okay? we can't, we gotta choose a temperature. So it's all gonna cook at 375 or whatever. And we can't steam some of it and dry cook some of it and combi some of it. It's all gotta be an even temperature. The way that we do that is, on the top here, this was our home screen. This is our manual setting. All this is going to do is bring those to the forefront. Okay, so the steam, combi. This is all the programmed ones that are already in there, not the ones that you guys have programmed. But it's all the ones that are already in there. The ones down the side are, and you're probably not going to use those because they're already embedded in the recipes. If you want to find something to pan fry or to boil, pan fry or boil, or convection oven, that's a convection oven, or grill. So don't worry about those too much. So that is going to be all the menus that are all in there. This next one is the shelf timers. Okay, so this is the one you're going to do hamburgers and French fries and baked potato or whatever. And you press that.
Say, which oven is that?
And it's going to show you 6 shelves. And from there, you can go in and populate and put in, you know, I want to do a hamburger or a French fry or what that works.
Each one of those levels can be temperature controlled.
It's not temperature control, it's a timer.
Timer control.
Yes, it's only time based.
Okay.
And it works really, what it works really well for is breakfast buffets. Okay, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits, gravy, and you can have your bacon coming out every 4 minutes and your eggs coming out every 2 minutes. What it does is it's cooking in there at a medium steam temperature at 350 or 375, and they're all you set them all up on timers, on shelf timers, so that the bacon beeps at 2 minutes in, and the sausage is going to stay in there for 3 more minutes or whatever. And so for buffets, it works out really well. For hotels or whatever, that they need to have that continuously cooking product and coming out there. So that was the other one. The programming mode, we already went through that one, and the last one is cleaning mode. Okay, and we'll clean this guy since we've used that also. Do you guys think that you're going to take a stab at it, or? Yes. Enthusiastically.
We don't really have a choice.
When's the stove gonna get here?
I have another specific question.
Yeah.
One thing that we have done on the stovetop is cranberry sauce. So I see that under the vegetables, we can do high acid preserves. Would that be something similar, or is that more for?
I think that's probably canning.
Canning, okay.
It might be canning.
So I guess my main question is, if we do want to do that, can we cover the pan?
Yes, absolutely.
Because
You know, on most of the stuff that you're cooking in, like this or any of the potatoes or stuff like that, they don't want you to cover it because you're impeding the steam from getting in there. So on a pan of gravy or whatever, if you're putting that in there while you're doing vegetables or if you're doing a steam product and you don't want any moisture getting in there into your gravy or something.
Or it prevents it from getting so soiled, so it doesn't bubble over.
Right. So I would try that. So whoever it is, I will send this link to that has my phone.
Over here.
Okay, so I had in here. So I looked at one this morning.
He sends it to you, Chris, you can get it to everybody.
Oh, okay, because I've got, so what I've got is, it's a whole bunch of links, okay, they're YouTube links, and have you seen that?
Well, I've sent all the YouTube stuff out,
Okay,
so.
have I sent you the, I mean, this is like 40 links, and it's pork chops or pasta and sauce. The guy goes through all these things.
It's out there on the rationale.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got them all consolidated. I've got
Okay.
one email I'll send you, and it's got all
Okay.
of these links. And I just want to show you in here. Okay, that's what the old control panel looks like. Okay, it's not much different than this, but do you see it says ILC down there? ILC is what that thing is. Individual level controls. Okay, so the one that I send you the links is for this controller panel. I don't have that many links for the new one. We just came out with these during COVID, but we couldn't really sell any because nobody was buying them and stuff like that. So anyway, it looks very much the same. But like this is the cleaning cycle, well, it's up here now and stuff like that. So, but there'll be a bunch of links. I think that will help you guys. They'll have a bunch of stuff in there that you won't normally run into. And I'll send you the chef line information and you can distribute that too. But please call the chefs. If you ever need to know the model and the serial number of these units, they're right here on the side. And it says model number LM or whatever. And then it's like an E61S. It goes on. But they might ask you for some of those numbers. They got a 2-year warranty on the whole unit and a 5-year steam generator warranty, okay? On the cleaning of these, it takes, these are the cleaning tablets. Whoever's cooking is going to need to clean that night, okay? And this is you put the stuff in there, set it on clean, and leave, okay? And they come out looking like that, actually brighter than that, every day. And so you don't want to skip on the cleaning because
So what color goes where?
and it will tell you.
It will tell you.
Yes. So feel those.
Peel them?
Feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One solid, four pipes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We buy them at when you run out.
You know, where do you buy food? You guys go out and buy food yourselves? What's that?
We go to the store.
Okay. Well, they don't have these at the store.
We'll just order
So-
from Trimark.
Okay. Oh yeah, you bought this from Trimark. Yeah. Or those from Trimark. You can buy them on Amazon. I mean, they have an Amazon. I think they come in the buckets of 150, which is going to last you guys a long time. So, but they come in the
Put
buckets
these every
of
time that you use it.
what?
Put them tablets in there every time you use it.
Right. And we'll demo that right now, and we'll put this through a
The whole
cleaning.
package, the whole package, I mean,
Sometimes it will tell you to use 2 packets.
Depending on what's been in.
Yeah, right. And it will tell you.
Oh, the machine's gonna tell
Yeah,
us?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so who's going to do cleaning? You gonna do cleaning? Who's going to use it the most? Okay, I'll do it.
She's good.
Okay. Come on up here. So we're only going to clean this one. We don't need to clean
no,
this.
so before you clean, you need to take that out.
Yeah, we're going to, and it would tell you, but let's take that out anyway. Put that in there. Actually, we'll take this one out to get rid of that steam in there. So heat this up. Just put it on convection oven. Yeah. 100%, not changing that. 320, that sounds good. Just put some time in there. Put 5 minutes in there. That's good. Oh, no. That's good.
Okay.
And now the door shuts, so it will just start. Okay, so cleaning, at the end of the day, when you're all done, and cleaning, you want to make sure you're done cooking, because you won't have a problem. But some restaurants, they get into cleaning and somebody runs in the kitchen, I got another order, and it's like, well, tell them to go down the street because we're cleaning, and you can't back out of cleaning, okay? Once you start it, it's like no return.
Closed.
Yeah, you can't stop that. So, So come over and press your cleaning button, or you press cleaning, yeah.
So it's already on.
Yeah. Cleaning's gonna be the little circle up there.
This one?
Yep. Okay, so cleaning, we've got a couple of things. We've got an echo clean and a normal clean. It basically, it's more time, less chemical, or less time, more chemical. Echo clean is going to be fine for you guys. Just leave that where it's at. So you can select a light, a medium, or a strong clean. For this, what we've done today, it's a light clean. Only when you're doing when you're doing the chickens and the turkeys and the glass, with turkeys and chickens, it isn't going to take much before that glass gets greasy looking. You're going to have to do a strong clean. So at this point, Father, you can see it tells you if you do a light clean, it's going to take one of the green tablets and one of the blue tablets. Okay? If you see that one is medium, 1 and 1. That one is 2 and 1. Okay? These tablets, this is the cleaner. Okay? And you'll just follow what this thing says. This is the one that cleans the boiler, the steam generator. Okay? So it's going to clean the inside of this. And the blue is going to go in the blue drawer. Okay? And the cleaning tablets is going to go in the drain basket. Okay? Close your drawer.
Door's right down there.
Okay.
I'll call you.
You're going to get this. This won't be foreign to you. You know, after the first time you do it. So, and it will show you in here. It gives you a little diagram of how to do it. So let's select light cleaning, and we've got our door open, cracked open during all this.
So I'll just hit this?
Yes? Now, if we've just finished cooking, it would come up and say, oven's too hot. We need to cool down, and then we go through that, open the door, close the door, all that business.
Okay.
So it says remove grids and containers. We don't have anything in there, right? All we have is the shelves in there. Now it says remove grids and containers if applicable, it's circle, or we don't have any of that to do. So I don't know if I need to put those in there yet. Okay, it says it's ready to. So we do need to put these in first. So we've hit that. We know that it's going to take 1 and 1, right?
Okay.
So we're going to open them up. They say to do these with gloves. They say to do them with gloves. Do them with gloves. Father has his gloves. He can handle the chemicals. That's all I'll say.
Same way you're gonna use it. Official.
Just don't use it the right way. I didn't use it, I didn't touch it.
Just remember the blue go in the blue drawer.
What's that saying? Reflective.
They're both different
It
colors.
just says there.
No, well, they are, the main one is,
This is one.
there's 4 chickens, you put the whole bag in.
It said one.
It says one, just shows a picture of the package.
1 and 1.
So just put the
So
whole
it doesn't-
Here, look at that, Father. That's 1 and it shows 4 little pieces.
Yeah. So one package is 4.
Oh, sorry.
So, go back to that screen.
He should have said blue packet.
2
Green
and
packet,
1,
not
that has one big round.
Right,
And-
and there's 4 little pieces in the blue.
Okay, so 1, 2 packets.
No, 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 we're-
Oh, there, and then I see the
Don't
little
hand them
4
something.
there.
Yeah,
down
it's
the inside.
It goes in that.
No, no, no.
And it's just one big thing.
Well, it's saying 1 packet of 4,
Oh, okay.
of 4
Okay.
pieces. 4
Okay.
pieces. Don't separate the packets. If it calls for 1, put 1 whole
So
packet.
that's
Yes,
the 2
yes.
containers, so which
You just drop them in, they disappear. They go in, down that
why
road.
did
You
they
can
make
just dump that whole packet.
like
We're
Because
this?
it's
not
got,
touching it.
apparently in that
And
drawer, we
close
can't
that.
see it, but
Close
apparently
the
in
door
the
and we're
sections.
cleaning.
So you do actually break it and put one in each section?
Okay, so it says that that's gonna take 2 hours and 2 minutes for a light plate. And, mostly,
How confusing that.
mostly it's the water going around there, and if we're here for 10, 15 minutes, you'll see the water, and the suds come up and they envelop the front of the glass of the door and stuff. And it's like it's like watching the inside of a dishwasher or something like that.
Yeah.
Since this one's still on, and now we can't do anything with that other guy, so, and it just goes through all kinds of.
So when it's done cleaning, does it automatically shut off?
Yes, it automatically shuts off, but it goes to sleep, just like your phone. So you come up and you'll just touch it and it'll come back to life. Like this one, we'll turn off tonight. I mean, we'll go ahead and we'll press that and make it go.
So you can simply start cleaning things.
That's how they're designed to do it. And that's how everybody
Will it
does it.
shut itself off after it's done cleaning?
That's what he just said.
Will it shut itself, it'll shut itself off?
Yeah.
after it's done?
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
So if we don't use these very often, you know,
What?
the downtime between when we use them could be a month or two or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Is that gonna,
I suppose.
I mean, a problem, is that gonna do anything to us?
No,
It's
no.
like the.
But you know what,
Hey,
if
Paul.
you're around and say that you have cleaned this, and obviously
Only it won't have.
somebody
light.
cleaned it and the door's all shut and it's all beautiful inside there and stuff.
The cover
If somebody
on the
comes through
drain's
here and you know
hidden.
you're not gonna use it for another month, if you could just open that door,
The floor
just
sink
crack the door
drain.
open, it'd be better just to
The
leave
cover's
that open.
hitting, it's the water hitting on that,
So the water that is it warm water in there?
Yes.
scoot that out of the way.
It doesn't hold water from the spray, but that water is actually coming from it's hooked to the water line. When we ask for steam, it's got a steam generator in here, what they call a boiler. It's a steam generator, and it's full of water. That's why we're using those blue tablets, because that's going to beline this.
Okay, so what I guess my question is when we go to come and use it 2 months later, is there gonna, and we wanna put
There's no-
some water in a pan, is it gonna be water that's been holding in there?
No. That water from that hose comes from the city.
So,
I mean, it's
okay,
coming
so
from
it's
your
drain-
wall.
It's gonna drain out that drain out.
Yeah. And at the end of this, I mean, because it's gonna clean out that steam generator, so it's not holding any water.
So if the electricity went off, is there something you have to do to turn these back on?
Oh, good question.
Yeah,
So reset.
no, there's no reset button on there. There's smart machines, and that happens, and they'll just don't come back on. You know, most of the questions that you're gonna have, if it's doing anything weird, it's gonna show you on the screen what to do, okay? It will tell you that it had a power failure, and it'll probably not do anything because
See, that could happen, you know, if you was in here cooking and you had like a lightning storm or something like
Yeah.
that, thunderstorm coming through, that could kick it off.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah, I mean, if you lost power here, you're gonna lose power there.
So if it did it, like, so when my dishwasher shuts off between, you know, the lights go off and everything, it's done.
Oh,
From
this-
wherever it stops, is it's done, that's where it's at. What, will this come back on and finish, or will it?
On the clean, okay,
Yeah,
so,
on the clean.
on the cleaning cycle, that's a good question too. On the cleaning cycle, if it gets interrupted at any point, it's gonna notify you. If you come back in to cook, it will basically tell you, hey, this is not ready to cook. You need to take any chemicals in there out, and you need to flush the cabinet. I mean, because it won't let you clean if it thinks that, it won't let you cook if it thinks that it still has cleaning material in there. So it's got those safety features built in. Anything on, since that one's still live, anybody want to play with that, or anybody have any questions? You didn't come up. Do you have?
Sports stuff. No, not yet.
I know. You guys, but really,
We will.
you're, just go up there and play around with it, and if you do it wrong, write it down, say I did it wrong. Here's another point, you know, you guys get a chef training, okay? So the whole time, I'm not the chef, so I'm not the chef, And,
You've done a good job.
but I go through, I cooked amazing fish, I thought, today. It was good. So, you will get a chef training, and somebody, Chris, you're gonna have to tell us when you want that, okay? Tomorrow is not the day. They need to cook a couple of times, and in your cooking, you need to have a notebook handy and say, hey, I cooked the fish, and I cooked it at pan fried for 8 minutes, and it was, some of the pieces were not done. You need to write that down. When the chef comes, then you need to say, this is what I did, and they're gonna say, oh, maybe you should do broiled fish, or maybe you should do a breaded fish. Tim told you the wrong thing. Maybe you should do a breaded fish, or whatever.
Hey, Bill.
But if you have any questions on the stuff, that you should write them down in a little notebook, because I think we should probably schedule the chef. They don't just show up. Actually, I think your chef will probably come from Grinnell College. He's the instructor out there, and he owns tons of these, and so he does sub work for Rationale, and so he does chef trainings. Scott Turley is his name. And he does chef trainings all over Iowa for Rationale.
Hey, Bev, have them set up proofing of cinnamon rolls and baking of them for it.
Before he leaves.
You know, I'm not sure. I'll try to do that, but I don't know if I can do the two-step. But we'll try it. Let's see. So a way to do that, if you didn't start the proofing, you could just go into this notepad here.
Who's making cinnamon rolls?
We are on the 19th.
Who's we?
Well, the
Family Life?
Family Life people.
We had some this morning from that.
So where did Mary Hannah go?
Well,
I wonder if you can cook those.
huh?
I wonder if you can cook those ones that come in the
I
tubes.
think she's driving to school though.
We have frozen ones in the freezer
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's actually a car, but it's there's the preschool handicap kids, and they take them home in cars. I think she does that.
See Mary driving to school. That's all right.
I could, my temperament to be able to do it.
Yeah, I feel somebody.
Anyway, we have 144 frozen ones in that freezer.
Uh-huh. Is it for after mass?
Maybe over there. Yes, it wouldn't-
Is it,
Huh?
it's after mass?
Yeah.
How long do cinnamon rolls take?
They're frozen,
Oh, they're frozen?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why he was asking about the proofing.
No.
How long does that dishwasher run?
Well, the timer on it says 1 minute 53. Or no, an hour, sorry, an hour 53. So 2 hours. Is that what it's?
Yeah.
That's on light.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be,
Yeah.
probably 4
an
hours.
hour, almost 2 hours. That's why you would do it after you got done. and
Well, you
left
put
it
your
on.
dishes in there and get them clean.
No.
I don't think it'll let you.
Oh, it already, didn't you hear that part when we was trying to set it up for training?
It didn't,
It
it won't
says
let you put
empty,
anything in
empty
it.
all stuff.
I can type in cinnamon rolls, but